Okay, so today we are tasked with cropping and resizing a large image. This is the image we have to crop. I think I'd like to crop it in here somewhere. You can also just resize an image to fit. It's a little simpler. I'll show you both methods. I'm going to right click on it and get info just to see. Yes, this is the right image. It's 3000 pixels, basically straight out of the camera. I'm going to take this and drag it over to Photoshop. I'm going to do that again. There we go. So there's our image. First thing we do is make sure that the image is 72 dpi. And to do that, you go up to here to image and go to image size. Okay, it's 180. So let's say 72. Put 72 on there. And that will change our width and height. The lower resolution, we're throwing away some pixels. We still have plenty of pixels to work with to crop our image, so I'm not worried about that. Constraint proportions, it should always be checked. If it's not checked, you can distort your image to a lesser or greater degree. For now, let's just save this at 72 dpi. We have a smaller image. You saw how it got smaller. We're going to view it at 50%, less size reduction. Okay, so we have this image, and what we can do is, if you're looking over here, this is the Get Info window. To get to it, you would go under Window, Info, and make sure that's checked, and it will be on the right side over here. So if you grab your crop tool over here on the left, just click on it, and then click and drag over your image. On the right, over here, right there, you can see the size that I'm dragging it to. And it's still big, but we're just going to do a large grab, okay, and grab it. And I think that's the right size, and it's sort of the right, I sort of wanted to get away from all of this distraction here. So basically I'm going to hit return, and that crops the image for me. So now if I look down here at the bottom, I can see I'm 871 pixels by 650. Better. This is where I will select the arrow tool and then go to image, image size, and under width, making sure that constrained proportions is checked. I'm going to change this number to 250 because that's the width that I want. And in relation to that new number, a different number down here appeared, which is 187, which is the height. Now, our final number that we want is 250 by 165. So this is good because I'm going to accept this, say OK. So I'm going to go down here and make this 100%. So now I have an image that is, down here I can look, 250 by 187. So I can select the crop tool and I can drag over it, and if you look over here, my width is 250 and I can adjust the height to 165. And then I can decide, do I want to cut it off the bottom or do I want to cut it off the top? And personally, I find this right here very distracting and nothing to do with my subject. So I'm going to move this down. I'm using the arrow tool so that I'm not seeing any of this red, green, white, gray, but I just have the shelf and then the resolved image here. And I think that's still a nice crop on her. It's just a little less visually distracting. And I now have a 250 by 165 pixel at 72 dpi. And I can go to File, Export, File, Save for Web and Devices. And on the right here, you have choices. And on the previous tape, I said go with a ping 24, and I would say that I don't agree with that anymore. I think a ping 8 is great, and a ping 8 at 256 colors is a very good representation. It's pretty small file size, and a lot of computers can read it really accurately. That's basically 23.5K. Let's look at it as a JPEG, because JPEG for photographs is really good at 80% right here. And I look over here, and a JPEG is smaller, so I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for the smaller size. Let's look again at the ping 8 at 256. Now look here at your image, because if we're looking at the optimized view up here, we're seeing the actual what it's going to look like. And I actually think the ping 8 is a sharper image. I'm going to go with the ping 8. It's all up to you. So I'm going to click Save, and I'm going to call this one rectangle, and export it images only. And there I have it. I would upload that ping to the website wherever I needed that file size, and you're all set. Sometimes I include the file size in the name, so if I were to export this again, I would go File, Save for Web and Devices, Ping 8, Save, and what I would do is name it 250x165 underscore. So then all of the images that are 250 by 165 all fall in a row in the file structure. Okay, that's it.